We live in a technological world and there's no escaping that. Some 85% of adults in the UK own a smartphone, and that rises to 96% when you get to under 35s. And technology can be a wonderful thing, a brilliant thing. It can enhance our lives in all sorts of ways, and the fact that you're watching this video is testament to that. And technology is improving all the time as well, which is great. Things that you can get now you couldn't have dreamed of a few years ago. But the downside of this is that technology has become disposable, quickly becoming redundant and replaced. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who is paying quite a significant amount of money each month for a top-of-the-range smartphone, but he's had it for 6 months and it's no longer top of the range. And there are more things that have replaced it. So how as Christians can we approach this issue of technology? How can we make ethical choices, habits, actions and decisions when it comes to the technology which shapes and informs our lives? Well, firstly, we can think about the technology that we buy. Does your phone need upgrading just because you've come to the end of a contract, or can you carry on using it for another 6 months or another year? And if you are upgrading, if you do need to change, then perhaps you might use something like the Ethical Consumer website to look at the ethics of a phone just as much as you'd look at the specs and the technology. You might like to think about a Fairphone. This is a phone that I got a couple of years ago, and the Fairphone, the company have tried to use fair trade principles in sourcing all the minerals and materials that go into making the smartphone, and it's a smartphone that does all the things that any other smartphone does. But it's also modular, which means that if, for example, the screen on my phone isn't working as well as it used to, the phone's a couple of years old, and with some phones that would mean that you have to just replace the whole phone. But with this, I can buy just a new screen unit for £60 or £70 or whatever it costs, and just replace that, but keep the rest of the phone as it is. And you can do that with all the different bits of the phone. And that reduces waste, it extends the life of the phone, and it's much better for the environment and for me because I don't have the hassle of changing everything onto a new phone. But if you do upgrades, then old phones can be sent to charities that refurbish them and ship them to places where they can be a blessing to others. And talking of refurbishment, you can buy refurbished computers and printers and all sorts of other things so that you're not using new materials, but it's sort of a way of recycling, and it often works out cheaper as well. And there isn't time here to talk about all the different ways that technology can help us in our Christian walk through things like Justice Mail and prayer apps and all sorts of other things. Technology can be a wonderful thing, and in so many ways it's made our world a better place, but we do, I think, need to heed Isaiah's warning about the axe that wields the person who swings it. Technology can feel a bit like that sometimes, like it's dictating our lives rather than being a tool that we use. So let's celebrate all that technology does to connect us, all that it does to enhance our lives, but let's also be aware of the impact of that technology on ourselves and on others, and our choices have impacts further down the production line, so that we can be good neighbours, loving neighbours, and good stewards of this earth that God has given us.